questions you have.
So what made you interested in this topic?
I mean, do you know anything about Bitcoin? It's so interesting.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a little bit. I'm not an expert, but that was interesting.
Actually, a good friend of mine here, Phil, and I were having drinks at a bar in 2013, and he was showing me his Bitcoins and how much money they were making. And I said, what is that? And right away, the wheels started turning, and I was like, this is a historical time we're living in. Something is happening here that has never happened in this way before. Hopefully somebody's going to make a movie about it. And at the time, I wasn't aware of any other films, and I jumped in. There have been some other films, but this is clearly the best one. So, thanks for watching.
We agree.
Yes.
So my question is that it seems that you've done a lot of research and met a lot of people out here. How did you how much time you took to plan those interviews and meet? Did you meet them personally, or you had your team looking for them?
Yeah, I mean, most of the team is right here. Great help to so many people in this room. Like my camera crew guys are back there. Phil, who set everything off. Joe, who's a brilliant programmer and took me through everything. Nick Spanos is somewhere here. There he is. Yeah. My hero, Nick Spanos. Just meeting people in the community. The Bitcoin community is an amazing community. You hear cryptocurrency and you're kind of afraid if you're an outsider. What does that mean? But people, are spreading the gospel of Bitcoin, and it's very easy to meet people, and it just springboards from there. And so things evolved. We tried to get the Winklevoss twins right off the bat, and they did not want to meet with us at all. Charlie was very skeptical, but over time you just talk to people, you meet people. Benjamin Losky, I don't know why he talked to us, but he talked to us. You just build relationships with people over, it took us 2 years to film it, so throughout that time we just kept building relationships, and slowly, we got to talk with everybody we wanted to. We actually talked to more people than we could fit in this film. Unfortunately, there's so many great people that just got, are in the extra features. But I think the people in the story are amazing.
And just a follow-up question to that, did you make profits in this? I mean, just as an entrepreneur, did you make profits on this, or are you planning to, did you crowdfund the whole thing, or are you planning to distribute it the conventional way, or?
Yeah, I didn't make any money on this.
But I think being the first, a Bitcoin movie of this scale, I think, the Bitcoin community should find a way to make it at least profitable. It's
surprising how hard it is to make money in the film industry, but, making the movie was really the main goal, and getting it in front of as many people as we can is the number one goal. Yes?
What was your favorite part making it?
It's a tough call. Scoring the next big interview was always the big thing. Trying to get Nick Szabo to get in the movie, that was exciting. It was if you're into Bitcoin at all and you haven't played the Who is Satoshi Nakamoto game, you're lying, because it's the most interesting thing. And we had a lot of fun with that. That was really exciting to try to find this, Jimmy Hoffa character. Who is he? That was really exciting. But just every time something big happened in Bitcoin, it was exciting. Nervous. The hearings were just so frightening because you knew so much was at stake for all these young Bitcoin businesses here in New York, and it was really hard to see that a lot of those businesses had to suffer because of that. Yes.
How do you decide when to stop adding content, because it's something could happen next week?
Right.
Bitcoin now.
Yeah. I mean, even now, look at the price of Bitcoin now. It's crazy. When we stopped filming, I think Bitcoin was $300 a Bitcoin. When you stop, we sort of stopped when I guess the Bit license came out. That was our thing. We wanted to see that through. See what happened. We followed up with Nick Spanos as much as possible to see if he could weather the storm, and he's a real fighter. He held out forever. He kept the Bitcoin Center alive, which is, I'll do credit to the Bitcoin Center in New York, how lucky we were to have that here in New York City, a place where you could go, learn about Bitcoin, trade Bitcoin, for free. Just walk down there. Nick was a real, preacher of Bitcoin. So we're very lucky. Give him an applause.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to answer the question, it was basically the bit license. We got Andy Greenberg was sort of like a holdout. He's the Wired journalist, so we waited for him as well. And we had some leads on Satoshi Nakamoto, but you'll have to wait to the sequel for that. Yes?
I think you show the evilness of a regulator. I mean, if anybody doesn't hate a regulator after watching this, you should, I mean...
Aren't you a congressman?
Former Congressman Steve Stockman, ladies and gentlemen.
Which I did a federal bill to stop all guys like him from regulating it. He's making a profit off of it. He's horrible. He stomped on a lot of people's dreams to make a buck for himself. He's the kind of guy who would throw his mother under the bus to make a buck.
That's going to be his next commercial. I am not a libertarian. I do lean a little bit in that direction, and maybe a little bit more so after learning about what regulation really is, how the sausage is made. But I believe that regulation is necessary.
But he's profiting off his...
Well, yes, okay. Yes. Profit off of regulation, bad. Regulation and clean water, great. Okay, that's where I'm.
But also
the movie is trying to show the side of what can happen when you regulate too early. When you have something that is very nascent.
Well, you got to ask yourself, what was his motivation? Was his motivation pure in the beginning, or not? I don't know the guy.
I think he was a noble man and a noble regulator. If there is, I don't know. I'm kind of in a stacked room here, so I can't. But he's a lovely human being, and he was very gracious with his time. And yes.
Who gave him the job of regulating?
Who gave him the job?
Yeah, who gave
it was that Cuomo.
Right. So he does go up the chain, doesn't he?
It's turning it into a town hall. Any Bitcoin questions? Yes, sir. Oh, Alan Stevo, the crier at the Bitcoin Center. You may recognize him.
I do kind of want to hear, though you're in a stacked room, I think Losky's a terrible person, and I kind of want to hear. I want to hear you say nice things about him that you believe, because I'd love to hear another side of it.
I
if
agree.
you feel like it.
The extent to which I know about any of this is through Bitcoin and the Bitcoin hearing, and I think that's all on the screen now.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. Oh, Joe Fischel, genius programmer, altcoin man. If you want to get deeper into altcoins, talk to Joe.
Is there going to be a sequel? Is it going to be number 2?
Yeah, the search for Satoshi.
Yeah, no, I like that the film doesn't sort of tries to at least sort of give you information and not be too heavy on the libertarian side, and has all these characters that are really rich. But I guess going back to the regulation issue, like, does the regulation get some parts right, or is it totally wrong? Like, can you talk a bit more about the bit license and?
Can anybody here talk about the bit license and what it actually does? That's the question, right?
Well, I'm an applicant now.
There are
I'm probably not going to get it. Did I say fucking license? I don't think I'm going to get it now. I think I spent about $100,000 on lawyers.
I haven't read through it as much as maybe Nick Spanos has or Eric Voorhees have. I know the Winklevoss are still working on their ETF. They're pretty close. Is there anybody following that here? The Winklevoss, have they got it yet?
Not yet. They just got insurance and they're waiting for a response from the FCC.
Okay. So they're moving along. They're as you can see in the film, they were very buddy-buddy with the regulators. They wanted to push their ETF, but that's a lot more information. I'm not exactly sure what's inside the bit license, but I know that it's tough for a young company that doesn't have a lot of money to get. So that's why a lot of younger companies.
Well, the application, when you're done with it, is about 3.5 feet tall. And they call you back in and ask you more questions.
It destroys innovation. It keeps little people out.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I'm an investor in Kraken, and we're now the largest exchange in the world.
I'm a customer.
And, what's that?
I'm a customer.
Yeah.
Kraken.
Yeah,
Hopefully a
Kraken's
happy
great.
one. But you know, we've kind of been navigating this whole legislative area and regulatory area.
Can you work out of New York?
Not profitably, so therefore we don't take New York customers.
Right.
We don't take North Korean
Yeah, we
customers.
featured that article about Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken in there, and I mean it's interesting seeing the take because like over in Europe, like their regulators are working with us, and like Japan has like been very accommodating to us, and so you know when math and cybersecurity is like at the focal point of your national security, and you come in with regulation like this and you stifle the innovation that happens and then it drives it outside of the US, it makes me wonder like what that is doing to our national security here in the US, because the talent is going other places. It's going to London, it's going to the Isle of Man, it's going to Singapore, it's going to Japan. And we're seeing that with Kraken, and US businesses that would like to accept Bitcoin don't have a reputable exchange that they can really go through to do it. So it's really, there are a lot of these unintended consequences that are unfortunate.
Yeah, that was very interesting. We saw that through the filming of this, that a lot of people were exiting from New York City. A lot of really great Bitcoin people, cryptocurrency people, and I think that is true. You know, I think if Bitcoin was allowed to flourish here a little bit longer before heavy regulations came through, who knows what New York would mean for Bitcoin. Yes?
Hi, you didn't seem to have much negative content about Bitcoin. Was that a conscious decision, or?
What are you talking about? You got the whole Silk Road over there.
You know, it depends on who you talk to. You know, like the fact that I'm talking about Charlie Shrem and the Silk Road, you know, some people in the Bitcoin world would be really upset about that. The fact that I'm talking about who Satoshi Nakamoto might be could really incense certain people on Reddit. But, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, endorse Bitcoin. I'm a filmmaker first and foremost. I'm gathering the information and trying to tell the story of what was happening in the world of Bitcoin throughout those years. You know, what's negative about Bitcoin? I'm sure there's a lot out there. It wasn't really being presented other than what we show in the film in a very strong case. Maybe you have something to add. Anything?
Oh, I mean, I'm personally pro Bitcoin. It's just I read quite a lot. It's very negative. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wanted to make the film as fair as possible. You know, it was hard to do, but you know, you still have an opinion that you want to have come across. But what I found wasn't all that negative. Yes, it could be used by bad actors. You know, but like Eric says, anything could be used by a bad actor. So, I mean, how else is it negative? You could like talk to an economist about a deflationary currency being bad, but that would bore everybody in this room. Or maybe not everybody in this room, but everybody, you know, moms and dads. So, you know, we didn't really get too heavy into that. But yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to throw out some negative things about Bitcoin, this room.
Actually, there's a lot of good that's being done with Bitcoin, like Sean's Outposts and like charities and things like that. So maybe the omission of like those really good things made the bad things not seem so bad.
Right. Yeah, and that's just the danger of making a film is you can't bring up everything. But the good part about making a film is you begin to start that conversation. So we can start to talk about the many positive things Bitcoin can do or the many negative things that Bitcoin can do. I think this is just a great springboard for that. Yes?
There's nothing nice to film.
It's on all the streaming sites now, not the ones that are for free. Please don't use those. It's on iTunes and Amazon, and we'll hopefully have some like physical copies for everybody who's over 65 soon. I think that comes out on Amazon in March. Yeah, the film hopefully gets a great life, and you know, maybe it's in a few theaters in Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, and if there's enough interest, it could go bigger theatrically. So you know, if you liked it, please tell all your friends, and give it 4 stars or 5 stars if it's a 5-star thing, or 10 stars. Just max out on stars, okay?
Done.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
When are we going to see next from Mr. Chris Panucciardi?
I'm working on 2 documentary projects. I don't know, can we announce that yet, actually, or should we keep it silent?
Announce it.
We're done. I'm doing a documentary about fake news, which is in the news, real and fake right now. I used to work for the Onion News Network, which is as fake as you can get. So I have a lot of great opinions on that, and we're just starting that right now. And of course, we're looking for Satoshi. So if you know anything, I have an anonymous email address you can send it to. Alan?
Yeah, I saw online someone mentioned that you've been working on it 3 years. I don't even know. I just.
Do you remember when
coming and going.
right? Do you remember when the doors opened at the BitCoin Center? It was 3 years ago. This past New Year's Eve.
13.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So it's a nice little anniversary here to commemorate the BitCoin Center, New York. Yes.
So how, if you don't mind talking about it, I'd love to know how did you keep going through all of that? Maybe financially and more importantly emotionally. What was pushing you forward this whole time, and maybe some of the timeline of how long did it take? How long was filming? How long was post production?
Sure.
What have you been up to with this process?
Right. So, making documentaries, unless you're, a genius and you can make 5 a year, is not very profitable. So it's sort of my, passion project. It's something I would work on. I'm a freelance filmmaker. So when, 1 week I'd be working all week, and the next week I'd have free, and I'd make that the Bitcoin week. The Bitcoin Center was a great resource to there were a lot of meetups and special guests. So I had a chance to meet Vitalik, who's heading up Ethereum, which is like the Bitcoin 2.0 project, if you're not in the know, and just meeting great people. So it was like an on-off thing I filmed for about 2 years, and then we edited for just under a year. We did half the edit here at DCTV with a great editor, Paula Herdia, and then I should really give a great shout out to Pritchard Smith, who is the editor who took us through the finish line. Is a genius. I gave him a writing credit, which he deserves. He helped structure this because it's madness. You have so many points of view, so many events, so many wonderful people in your film, and you got to just whittle it down to the right voices for the right moments. And Pritchard really did that. So yeah, we cut for about a year, and then just we did the scoring with Ben Prunty, who's a great composer. Too Many Zoos, and great animation from Molly Schwartz and Sean Cottle. They're not here, so I should applaud, but you should. Is that it?
I mean, I can go on and on.
Next.
Where should people go afterwards to drink with you and talk about the...
Oh yeah, where are my mail people? Oh yeah, the mail did the color. They're here. Josh, where's Josh? Is he here? Oh, right there. You're right there. Hey, these guys are superstars. They did the movie probably for their drinking money for one evening, and they really did an amazing job because making a documentary is the sloppiest type of filmmaking you could ever do because you just shoot and your shoulder's hurting and you're not even sure you're going to get something, and the thing you get is at the end of the day when you're tired and it looks like crap. These guys fixed all that, so they're awesome. And their office is right here, and they drink a lot. So where should we go drinking?
Yeah. Toad Hall is always a good one.
Where?
Toad Hall.
Toad Hall, everybody. Toad Hall.
I don't think
Do they accept Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin's really high right now. Yeah, so please join us at Toad Hall if, where are you going to go tonight? Anyways, it's terrible out there. And we can continue the conversation. But thank you, everybody, for coming out. This is really amazing. It's been 3 years, like I said, and it's just so great to be at the end of this, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you.